Hey, what's going on? I figured I would do a randomly unannounced live stream for y'all, whoever's up late at night or very early in the morning, depending on where you're at, or a reasonable time of the day if you're in the Australian part of the world. But either way, good to see all four of you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to ramble, and if nothing really takes off on the stream, I'll just end it early. So, yeah, I am in the middle of reading. Not in the middle. I just started reading, what is it? The Sarah J. Maas book that I have to read. The, what is it? Crescent City. Is it Crescent City? Is that what it is? The House of Earth and Blood. Started reading that today. And it's not as bad as I thought. The first chapter. It's a lot of world building. Which, look, if that's all I get in the book, I'll be happy, because I expect horrific. I expect the worst of the worst experiences. So, yes, started that. What did I finish reading? I finished reading today Tower Lord, which is the second book in the Raven's Shadow series. The first of those books being Bloodsong, and the second one I stopped reading. I don't know that I'm going to do a review for it either, because I didn't really read enough of it to get an opinion on it. It's just so disappointing to read a book that I felt like was like 6 stars if possible in Bloodsong, and then to get the follow-up book being weak, and that was disappointing. So, yeah. Let's check out some of these comments. And I'm not going to have a guest tonight. I'm going to do this all on myself, because I will get through all of the comments. The last few streams I've done, I just don't really end up engaging with you all. I just talk to whoever my guest is. So, no guest. So, what's up? How do I say your name? It's like the hardest name in the world to say. Teach me. Teach me your ways. What's up, man? How you doing? Hope you had a good day. 𝐶𝐸, I am also reading 𝐶𝐸. I'm not done yet. I'll be finished tomorrow, and I hate it. I'm gonna have a rant review on that one. A pretty vicious rant review on 𝐶𝐸. I have a lot of things to say. I'm not gonna get them all in right now, but I hate it with every fiber of my soul. And yep, gonna go off on it. Stacy, hello from the Netherlands. That's awesome. It is very early in the Netherlands, right? Probably a 9-hour time difference is my guess. So what is that? 7 in the morning? Is it 7 in the morning? Seems early on a Friday. Hope you have a good day planned, and then going into the weekend. What's up, man? Hello, Matt. Hope you're doing all right. I am doing wonderful. Life is good. I got to go to see my kids perform. They are in kindergarten and second grade at their school. They do like a dance recital. Each class does a dance, and it was fun. A lot of fun. My son danced to, oh man, what was it? Goodbye, like na 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 na, hey, goodbye. And then my daughter danced to, what did she dance to? Surfing in the USA. So it was fun. A lot of fun. What's up, Shad? Teach me how to say your name too. Doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Hi, Matt. Hi, everyone. Hey, Andy. 6 stars for both combined. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's still high. Michael, have you read Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cowley yet? I'm halfway through book 2 and haven't been this excited since A Song of Ice and Fire. War and Ruin. Is War and Ruin the third book? I think War and Ruin's the third book, right? Yeah, I have not read the third book. I'm going to be reading it. Like, I'm supposed to be reading it at the end of the month. So it's not on my TBR contest this month, but it's a really long book. So I plan on reading like half of it at the end of the December and then half of it at the beginning of January. But I'm going to push it back a little bit because I realized that The Engineer, the second book in Will White's The Last Horizon series, came out earlier this month. I totally forgot about it. I'm going to read that one first, and then I'm going to read Of War and Ruin, the first book, in January. But yeah, the second book is so dope. I'm glad you liked it. And I heard the third one's even better. So excited about that. He took 10 years to write Bloodsong, maybe then had to write a deadline. Yeah, I could see that. It just felt like a book that didn't need to be written ultimately, and that's not my only problem with it. But the first one feels like a standalone. It ends perfectly. Why do you need to keep going? Make a new thing in a new world. We got all these characters with, multi POVs. It kind of felt like, to me, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but it felt like the Red Rising series, where I feel like that initial trilogy ended so hot, and I love the ending. And then it started up a new series, which I hear is good. I didn't like the first book in the next series. And then it did this multi-POV thing. It felt like a series that didn't need to be written. Felt like the same feelings that I got out of this one. Why don't you just torpedo me out of the TPR contest again? I'm torpedoing myself too. So I'm right there with you. I'm in the middle of Tower Lord now, and I love the series, although that definitely is weaker. Have you read Fourth Wayne? I've never even heard of it. I've never heard of Rebecca Yarros either. I don't think so. Has she written anything more popular? I'm glad you love the series. I wish I did. I still have immensely fantastic feelings about the first book and the author. I just feel like when I recommend this book to the series people, I'm going to say read the first book and then just don't have expectations for the second one. I have a feeling if I read 𝐶IRCE, I would not like it. Yeah, 𝐶IRCE. God. I'll go into detail on it, but nobody told me that it's just like a YA romance, edgy book for kids. No one told me. I thought it was going to be some like more scholarly look at things and like a intelligent look on Greek, mythology. Now, part of my problem is I am Greek. I know a terribly large amount about Greek mythology. But this felt like Greek mythology like 101, less than that. It felt like Greek mythology for high schoolers. And so it had to hit all the plot points. All these big things had to happen. And it was just like rushing to the next thing. And we didn't get enough depth on anybody. Felt like the book should have been way more narrow in scope, with maybe a different POV character and written totally by a different person or something. But yeah, it's rough. It's a popular book. Rough for me. I'm sure a ton of people love it. Probably people in here, but it just didn't work for me. Greetings from Croatia. Greetings. You have a beautiful country. How am I supposed to guess 1 and 2 stars for shit I haven't heard of? Yeah, you and me both. I never guess 1 or 2 stars when I do my own TBR contest, so we're in the same boat. And also, I want to note that this is one of the last times I'm going to be doing a live stream with this setup. I am going to be changing my setup. My problem right now is I don't have, I have this nice camera. You've seen my setup. It's right behind me. But I go from like an angle. So my setup, here's my door. And then I have my tripod right there. And then I put a chair right here. And then I face it at an angle at my bookshelf. But I don't have like the right thing you have to put into your computer to allow you to run video into it. I have to get this $100 or so like thing you plug into the USB that goes into the camera that allows the camera to feed through the computer. But then I also have to get this fake battery. So like it acts like a battery, but you plug it into the wall so that you don't get capped out at like 45 minutes on whatever my battery life is. And so I'm going to basically have the exact same setup that I have for my videos on my live streams. I got to kind of, mess around with how to get the laptop in front of me and maybe get a mouse on like a little desk next to me, but that will be coming soon. Hey, Matt, I won't be able to stay long. I'm not going to stay very long either. But it's good to hear from you. But I wanted to let you know that I appreciate your videos. And then my goal for next year is to start reading through Malazan. I'm going to start reading Malazan. I'm going to go through Malazan next year as well. You might go faster than me because I'll probably read a book every month or two, maybe every 2 months because I read a lot of series. But I'm going to be starting the first Malazan book at the end of January, maybe the beginning of February. So if you want to read along with me, come join the Discord and we will do that together. Andy, just started The Will of the Many because I'm a bit of a slow reader. So I'm trying to get a head start in the buddy read. Are you excited for the book? I am excited for the book. I'm more excited than I should be because I read what's the other series by James Ellington? The 𝐒𝐮𝐥 trilogy. I read the first book in that. Thought it was okay. Didn't love it. But I liked the writing style. I just didn't like the plot. This book is hot. This book is way more popular than 𝐒𝐮𝐥, I feel like, at least at the beginning stages of things. But I've been reading so many bad books lately. This month, I've been reading 𝐒𝐮𝐳. I hate it. I read Tower Lord, didn't like it. Right now, I'm reading the stupid Sarah J. Maas book. I'm gonna hate that. So I'm excited to read something that I enjoy. So I'm very much looking forward to the buddy read. I've never had such a rough sequence of reading bad books. I can't wait for you to read of Warren. I can't wait either. I mean, it's the most excited I am for a book on my TBR, I think, because like I mean, you saw my review. I love the second one. It's one of my favorite books I've ever read. And literally everybody told me the second book is better than the first. Not a single person told me otherwise. And not a single person has told me that literally everybody's told me the third book is better than the second. I believe everybody, and I'm all in. I love this Ryan Cahill guy, and I can't wait to see what he has. What order for Ryan Cahill's books did you do? I did published order, I think. I did the first book, novella, second book, novella. Is that how it works? Hi, Raisin Lover here. Hey, what's up, man? Or woman? Excited for Will and Mandy Buddy Read. And there's a lot of people joining that buddy read. I am hyped about it. He's trolling you. He means Fourth Wing, the popular dragon smut. Fourth Wing. I'm not reading Fourth Wing. My wife is reading Fourth Wing. I'm trying to get her to actually read House of Earth and Blood. Is that what it's called? House of Earth and Blood? Whatever, the Sarah J. Maas book. Oh, I see. You're talking about the other guy. That name sounded familiar. Who was that? The author of this. I knew it was that. I'm trying to go back and figure out who that was. Whatever. I know what you're talking about now, Sam. Red Riding's second arc of way better than the first trilogy. Oh, I'm going to have to read Dark Age eventually because I didn't like that first book very much. Advice for someone starting the Wheel of Time. My best advice, there's this app you can get. I think it might be like the official Wheel of Time app for your phone. It's so good. There's so many characters. It's hard to follow along, especially if you don't read all the books back to back. What the app does is like you put in a character's name, you tell them what book you're on, and it'll tell you everything you need to know up until that book. It's so helpful. It's amazing. So check out that app. Crazy helpful. Have a good time. It's a great series. Oh, also, don't worry so much about the slog. There's this 3-book slog in the middle, right before Robert Jordan died. And I think it's like books 6, 7, and 8, maybe. And everyone says they're horrible. I liked them more than everybody else says they are. They are slower, but it sets up the action that's going to come after that. And the fact that you can read them back to back and you don't have to like wait a long time to get to the next one makes it a lot easier. So don't worry about the slog. Fourth Wing has more ratings than most fantasy books. I think that's probably true. Who's your top 3 of Song of Ice and Fire characters? Well, Tyrion. Love him. I mean, I love the Lannisters, I got to tell you. I could just take the 3 siblings. Maybe I should think more about that. And also their dad. Tywin. Tywin's got to be in there. Maybe not Jaime. I love Cersei. She's horrible, but I love her. I think she's a really interesting character. So yeah, I'm going to say pick them from the Lannisters. Love them. I just saw it. Popped up my recommendation stand. Apologies for the typo. It's called Fourth Wing. Yeah, my wife's reading that right now. Also, Bloodsong will always be one of my favorite fantasy books. The Wolf's Call and The Black Song were definitely better than the other 2 sequels. Okay. I think I'm going to have to take your word for it. I don't know that I can do it. It has 800,000 plus ratings on Goodreads. Do I need to start writing romance novels? Because I feel like I can. I don't have the skill to write like 99% of fantasy authors, but I feel like I could write a good romance fantasy book. I should do that. Just make a bunch of money. 𝗟𝗏 felt like a verbose to me, sadly. Was excited to learn about Greek mythology, but well, yeah. There's more fun ways to learn about Greek mythology. Go play Hades. You'll learn more than you would in that book. Go play God of War. Go watch something. Go watch Hercules. Do something, but don't read 𝗟𝗏. Why do you think you will enjoy reading? Why do I enjoy reading fantasy so much over other genres? I don't know. I mean, I grew up with it. There's some nostalgia. I just think it's more fun. It's the most fun I have reading, and I want to have fun when I read. That's my primary goal. I don't want to get smarter. I don't want to, I don't know, learn about certain things. I just want to have a good time. And fantasy is how I do that. The book came out. Holy moly. Yeah, that's it. I'm writing a fantasy book. I feel like we can crowdsource this fantasy book too. This romance fantasy book we're going to write. I hear a puppy. There is a puppy. He's not in the room though. Maybe he barked outside the door. But he should be getting tired soon. I was gonna bring him in here for the stream actually, but my daughter wants to do a puppy review, and she'd get really mad at me if I showed the puppy before she got to do the puppy review with me. But we're gonna do a puppy review video soon. Hey, Matt, big fan. Thank you. Have you read Of War and Ruin? No, I think I just talked about that. But no, I have not. I'm going to be doing it at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Are you doing a read-along from 𝐒𝐮? I'm not doing a read-along officially, but I will be reading it. And I talk about books that I'm reading in my Discord. And the more people talking about it, the more I'll talk about it with them. So like an unofficial read-along. My problem is I read really fast. So it's hard for me to do read-alongs because I read, I don't know, about 100. I don't know if it's that fast, but I read about 100 physical book pages a day, maybe a little bit more. So that's hard for a lot of people to do read-alongs with. I'm halfway through Of Darkness and Light, and the series is incredible. Man, everybody's talking about the series. Yeah, I can't disagree. It's dope. Matt's fans really set him up for failure with 𝗟𝗏 and Sarah J. Maas book in the same month. Yeah. I set myself up for 𝗟𝗏. I put 𝗟𝗏 on. But yeah, they did me dirty with the Sarah J. Maas book. I don't know why I thought 𝗟𝗏. I just thought 𝗟𝗏 was something it wasn't. I really thought I was going to get something more intelligent than what I got, and not what it was. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. Why are you putting yourself through Sarah J. Maas? Though I'm not complaining that ran. So I do this. So on my Patreon. One of the features of my Patreon is everybody gets to pick a book, and I spin a raffle wheel, and whatever it lands on, I have to read and review it. And somebody put both this book and Fourth Wing as their choices, and this one won. So it is what it is. When will you read the other Second Apocalypse books? I don't know. I have a big reading spreadsheet. That is public, but not a lot of people know about it. But I plan out all my reads, so I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm going to be reading The Warrior Prophet tentatively in February. I should start it February 12th, and that I can't wait for that. No wonder you like Grimdark the Lannisters. I like bad people in books. My favorite characters are oftentimes very flawed. And I love the Lannisters so much. I mean, they're bad, but they also, Tywin is worse than all of them combined, I feel like, because he doesn't really have a great excuse for it. But the kids grew up in such horrible environment with a dad like that. And of course they're going to act the way that they're written so beautifully for bad characters, because I don't agree with anything they do, but I understand it. And it makes sense, and I sympathize with the situation they're in and trying to make the best, especially 𝗟𝗏. People hate on her so much, but she's just trying to do the best she can, given the cards that have been dealt to her. And she's horrible, but of course she is, right? Wouldn't you be if you grew up like that? I feel like I would. What's your opinion on Trader Sun? I have not read it, but I want to. I think Trader Sun has a pretty dope cover, right? I don't really know Miles Cameron, but I think Trader Sun is on my TBR, like long term. My keyboard clicks a lot. I have one of those loud keyboards. Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know this book. It's not on my TBR. Oh, never heard of it before. Should I read it? Is Fireseer daunting to read? I don't know if daunting is the right word. It's not a hard read. It's a little depressing if you're into that. It's a very sad book. They're all, it's about a guy who keeps getting knocked down and keeps trying to pick himself up again. And the character work is amazing. That's what the book is. And if you're into that, then you're going to love it. I loved it. Any 2024 releases I'm excited for? Yeah, I'm going to make a video soon on this, but I'll talk about it. Let me pull up the old spreadsheet. So for 2024 books, the ones that I have on my list that I want to read are, and hopefully these all come out, but the second book in the 𝐿 series by Alex Hutson. The next Path to Ascendancy book by 𝐭𝐴 𝐿somont and Malazan. The second book in the Glass Immortals series by Brian McClellan. The third book in the Empire of the Wolf series by whoever writes that. The second book in the Empire of the Vampire series by Jay Kristoff. I think the third book in the Burning series by Evan Winter is coming out. Obviously, Stormlight Archive, assuming it comes out. The second book in the Gods of the Weirdwood series by R.J. Barker. The second book in the Witness series by Steven Erikson in the Malazan world. The second book in the, a lot of second books. Second book in the Mistland series by Kian Ardalan. And the next book in the Sun Eater series, Disquiet Gods. Those are the books I'm excited for 2024. Do you think Kingkiller Book 3 will? I do. I do think it will be. I have a very different perspective than a lot of people on these authors that don't come out with books like George R.R. Martin and Rothfuss and Scott Lynch. That they're doing their best. I don't have some malintent on them. I think writing's hard for some people, and a lot of people write these series and they're not that diligent of writers, and then it just blows up. And then what are they supposed to do? They're kind of stuck. I think a lot of these writers have mental health issues. I think that's that they try to work through, especially Rothfuss and Martin might. I don't know. But give it time. In the grand scheme of things, hasn't been that long. 10 years? More? Whatever. We'll be alive a long time. We'll get it eventually. How's your sense of smell doing? Thanks for asking. For anybody that doesn't know, a few months ago, I lost my sense of smell, and I got this thing unofficially called phantom smells, which means I can only smell a singular smell, and it's very gross, and which sucks. So I have to breathe through my mouth all the time unless I want to smell it. It's started to get a little better. I'm kind of, every day it's a little different. I went to see my doctor was not wanting me to see a specialist. I go to Kaiser, and he was like really weird about it, but I pushed it. And eventually I got to go see a ear, nose, and throat surgeon, which was the most fascinating appointment. I love meeting with surgeons because they don't mess around. They don't care about your feelings. They're like, she just was like, tell me what happened. Okay. Do you smoke? No? Okay. Do you drink? How much? A couple drinks a week? Next question. Let me see your ear. Open your mouth. Check out your nose. Just like boom, 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 boom. So I'm on this like nasal steroid now. It's like this thing I spritz in my nose every day. And I'm going to go in and get a CAT scan. And I'm doing these daily smelling things. Like I have to smell these 4 different things every day. And she had to stick this like camera up my nose so far that it went to the back of my throat, which was very unpleasant. But So I'm working on it. I feel like I'm more optimistic than I was last week. Ever read Dostoevsky? No, and I don't know that I'll like it. I feel like it's going to be in that realm of like Blood Meridian, where everybody says it's awesome, and I don't like it. Will George finish? No, I don't think he will. I think he'll die. He doesn't look healthy. He's older. I think it'll take too long. I do think we'll get the next book. I think we'll get The Winds of Winter. I don't think we'll get A Dream of Spring, sadly. But that's okay. I don't need an ending to the series to be happy. I've had a lot of fun with the series. I've read it multiple times. I'll read it multiple times again in my life. You know, and it's I had fun in the books the way they were written, and I don't need an ending to enjoy it. Oh, is it considered romance that's disappointing? Oh, is it considered romance that's disappointing? 𝐶𝐚? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know if it's considered romance, but there's a lot of it in it. Or more like sexual in nature, and it's weird. Yeah, read Kyle. Not going into books completely blind can be used against him in hilarious ways. That is true. That is very true. What's your preferred reading style? Back to back in a series, or I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this. Right now, I would say my preferred reading style is to read them back to back. It's easier to remember. It's really hard for me to remember the books that I've read and like exactly what happens in them because I read too many. You know, like when you don't read a book and then you read like 15 books between it, it's going to be hard to recall everything, but it's helpful. It's really nice that I have the YouTube channel because people can help me out and fill me in on the blanks. Back to back has a lot of nice things about it. I want to start taking more notes when I read, and I think that'll help. I'm going to be getting, I'm not going to get rid of my Kindle, but I'm going to be getting a 𝐒𝐫𝐫𝐿𝐼PSA, which is like a tablet Kindle, and you can write on it. So like literally like write over the text. So I'm super excited about it. I want to take more notes. I think it'll help me understand things more. And then I really loved like on my physical books behind me, if you open them up, they're like littered with with like writing. Like I love drawing on maps and like writing where characters are and where they've gone and circling stuff. And I'm really excited to get back into that again. So I'll let you know when I get the 𝐒𝐫𝐫. I read that people will start putting more books they know you'll hate in Patreon. Now, the only books on my Patreon that I think people know I'll hate is this one. And honestly, I don't know that the person put it on there because they know I'll hate it. The person put it on there because that's what they like, and they wanted me to try it. The only other books on the Patreon that I really don't want it to land on is It by Stephen King and Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I just don't really like Stephen King, especially It. I feel like I'll hate it, and it's really long. But other than that, it's just people putting books on that they think I'll like or that they like, and they want me to like it too. Wow, how do you read so fast? Are your kids older, or how do you find the time? I just read a lot. I don't know that I read really fast. I read a lot. I read probably 3 hours a day of physical book, and then I do more audiobook when I'm driving and playing video games and stuff. I listen to audiobook and doing chores around the house. I just find time. I don't sleep a ton. I mean, I only sleep like 5.5 hours a night. And so I wake up before everybody and I read. I go to sleep after everybody and I read. I read at lunch. You know, I take my book everywhere. So if I'm ever standing in line, I read. My wife's got ADD, and so like I do a lot of waiting around for her to finish up stuff so we can get from point A to point B. I used to like get frustrated, but now I just open my book and sit down and wait. My kids are not older. They are 5 and 7. But I also like reading in front of my kids. I think it's really healthy for them to see their dad read. And I think it motivates them to want to read and learn. And that's what I think a big reason I read a lot is because my mom read a lot. And it was just part of I knew that that's something that my family did. And I want to show my kids that also. Cersei is abusing Jaime. Yeah, I agree to that. Speaking of evil characters, thoughts on Regal? Unredeemably bad. Yeah, he's a horrific person. I definitely hated Regal. He's not one of those bad characters that I like a lot of bad characters. But I don't know that I liked any of the bad characters in any of the Realm with the Underlings. I'm trying to think. Oh, I take that back. In the second series, Live Ship Traders, I really loved Dennett. Is that his name? Dennett? Captain Dennett? Loved him. He's probably my favorite character in that series. And he's a pretty bad guy. Have you ever read Lord Fowl's Bane? No. Thomas kind of it. I've heard a lot about it. I feel like it's older. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard a lot of people tell me that it's really good. But hit me up. What's it about? I don't know. You should definitely read Red Knight, the first book. It's one of my favorites. The Red Knight Trader's Son. Looks cool. Patrick hated it, but I don't agree with Patrick a lot. Hello, are there restrictions to Patreon Raffle Recs, like any banned topics or questionable content? I never really thought about it. It's got to be, there are restrictions. It has to be the first book in a series, or like if I abandon a series, like the next one that I have to read, but like you can't just say like read book 2 or something. It's got to be in the, it's kind of got to be in the fantasy sci-fi realm, but I'd entertain other options. If somebody wanted me to read something, outside of that, like historical fiction or something, I might consider that. I don't think questionable topics. I just would have to be careful about how I talked about them on my channel so I don't get demonetized. But I also reviewed Triceratops and Bottoms, so I can talk about questionable content without getting in trouble, I feel like. What are your thoughts on indie self-published authors? Do you find many good books from them? I do. I mean, it's I think what you'll hear from most booktubers is that they are just as good as traditional published authors. I don't know that I agree with that, but they can be. But there's also a lot of horrific self-published authors, because there's no checks, right? Like there's a lot of trash out there that will get no reviews. I used to read the books that were sent to me, and they're the worst books I've ever read. Like so much worse than you would ever believe. And regular traditional published books would never be that bad normally. But some of my favorite books are traditional or self-published. You certainly can be amazing, but there's a lot of misses too. All right. Never heard of anything you just said other than the first 3 words and the last word. Any plans to read A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? That's a Song of Ice and Fire, clearly, right? What is it? A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. What is it? Oh, it's Dunk and Egg. Yeah, I've read Dunk and Egg. Oh, it's the combination of Dunk and Egg 1 through 3. I've read it. I liked it a lot. I wish you reviewed back to back. I think a lot of people would not like it. I mean, I've never done like a survey on it, but like think about it. Let's think about 2 scenarios, right? Like one scenario is you liked the series that I'm doing. Clearly back to back would work for you, right? But if I didn't do back to back, you'd still be interested in the videos because you're hanging on till I get there. Let's flip it now. Let's say you don't like what I'm reviewing. Well, you clearly would prefer me to spread them out, and you would hate if I read them all back to back. So I want to avoid that scenario where people just hate what I'm reading and they will just tune out of my channel for the next couple months. I worry about that from a marketing perspective. Do you like map and artwork? Maps, yes. Artwork, take it or leave it. I like to imagine things for myself when it comes to characters. Although, I don't dislike it, but I'm not like going out of my way to acquire it. Maps, I'm obsessed with. I will stare at a map. I'll soak it in. If you have a map in a book, it's going to take me a lot longer to read that book because every time you mention a location, I'm going to be flipping to the map. I'm going to be finding it, looking at it, taking it in. I love maps a lot. How many books have you read this year? 105? Let's pull up the handy dandy spreadsheet. I have read 106 books this year. 𝐂𝐮 is like if Joffrey and Regal had a baby, but it's what's worse. Yeah, I hated 𝐂𝐮. I really wish you would read Claw of the Conceal. Is that? Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Shadow of the Torturer, right? That's got to be what you're talking about. I feel like if I didn't do a BookTube channel, I'd like it more. And I could just take my time and read it slow. But I don't really have the time to dissect stuff anymore. Nope. Skipped. Do you think reading in school helps or hurts future readers? Hurts? I mean, I talked about this with Philip Chase on his channel recently when I did a interview with him. At least for me, I feel like a lot of the things they make you read in school turn you off from reading. They make you read these things that are literary and they serve a purpose, but they zap the fun out of reading. I honestly, I just feel like there's a better way to teach reading, where let kids read what they want to read and figure out some way to quiz them on it or encourage exploring their interests more. Because I got zapped. I mean, I got zapped out of reading for a long time because of that. I know a lot of people did, and I know a lot of people that never got out of it before. So I say hurt. I have read Count of Monte Cristo in high school. I don't really remember it. Could you recommend something like Mother of Learning, where there's gradual progression of power with good writing? Did you think that Cradle, Iron Prince, and Dungeon Crawler Carl were worse writing than Mother of Learning? Because I feel like those are all comparable. I didn't think the writing quality in Mother of Learning was very good. I loved it, but I like the story more. The one thing you didn't mention there is Wandering In. Now, the first Wandering In book does not have very good writing, but it gets incredibly better. But the one you're not mentioning is Wandering In. Try Bastion. I'm going to be trying Bastion soon. What's up, man? Good to see you. How's everything? How's life? Empire of the Vampire art increased the reading experience. Yeah, I read it on ebook, so I didn't get the art. I think I made a mistake. And the art style looked weird to me when I eventually saw it. It was too unrealistic. Stock Talk. I wouldn't mind adding the next books of The Broken Earth and the first binding for some very entertaining reviews. Yeah. I'm tempted to read the second book in the first binding. I wouldn't do it to N.K. Jemisin because I have nothing against her. But, man, fuck R.R. Verde. I hate that guy. I want him to crash and burn. So I might read that second one just to trash him. See if I can get the highest rated review on Goodreads or something. I want people to search for that book and my face comes up and says, don't read it. Because he just copied it from Name of the Wind. So screw that guy. Does my video come up when you search for it? Like if I look on it in incognito and I search up the first binding, do I show up? I hope I do. I never care about the stuff from like a myself perspective. Yeah, I currently have the highest rated review on YouTube. Slightly higher than Petrix. That's what I'm talking about. And then what about on Goodreads? The first binding. There's no way I have a high review on Goodreads. I feel like I got some, but I don't think it took off. Let's see. I have the second highest rated review on Goodreads. I'm tempted to do it. Just read it. Man, everybody's talking about Blood and Fire tonight. Yeah, the first book's not amazing. Second book is. You just read the first one. First book's cookie cutter. Feels tropey. A lot of problems. Read the second one. You're going to be blown away. I'm not sure if you have already, but would you ever be willing to branch out into graphic novels? No. I'm not. I just don't like. I never liked comics growing up. Like, I just never ever liked them. There's something off to me about comics. I can't pinpoint it. I don't love artwork that much. I want more meat to my story, and I know a lot of manga will have that. I also don't really look. I'm cheap. Like, I grew up cheap. I try to save money. You know, I'm trying to buy another house. You know, and I want to save my money to buy another house. And so that means I try to penny pinch wherever I can. And I get all my books for free right now. I get them all either sent to me or at the library, or I just tell the library to go buy it and they buy it. Because I'm intimately close with my library board. It's politically. And so I just buying all those manga books sounds horrific. Horrifically expensive. The books schools make kids read seem actively decide to make students hate reading. Yeah, it's like professors think that it's good for kids to read these things, and they don't realize that the best thing to do is to get kids into reading in the first place. We're missing something on the way we teach kids how to read. You didn't like The Gardens in Shadow? Are you talking to me? I haven't read that. Hatchet was required reading, maybe branch out from fantasy. Yeah. The Bill Homewood audio version of Count of Monte Cristo is amazing. He's so good with the accent. Oh, that's a good suggestion. Bastion is a fantastic game. It is a fantastic game. That studio is a fantastic studio. What's the studio name? They made... Didn't they end up... Are they the same one that made Hades? Because I know they made that one. They made the one that, like, you slow down time, which was dope. Hades... I mean, I've put in a lot of... I've probably put in 500 hours into Hades. Maybe not that much. Maybe. Hades 2 is going to wreck my reading when that comes out. Bit of a random question. Do you hear your inner voice when you read? I don't know. I don't have any books in front of me. I have a kid's book. We'll see. I do. I hear it. The writing style of Sun Eater is unbearable to me. Yeah, I mean, not everything's for everybody. I would pay for that review. What review? What you talking about? Your review of First Binding was legendary, and I would love... Oh, you're talking about First Binding. I would love to see a sequel review. Yeah. I'm leaning... Now that we've talked about it, I'm leaning towards yes on that review. I'm interested in Shadows of the Apt. Yeah, I mean, look, if you like kind of old school epic fantasy, bro, it's dope. I mean, you like the Ryan Cahill books. It's in the same vein. Not as good, but dope. Do you ever think of writing a book? No. I don't like writing. It's my least favorite part of my job. I use ChatGPT a lot when I write for my job, so I don't have to do it. I outsource it to my other employees or interns. I don't like it. So I would not enjoy writing a book, and I'm not good at it. I'm good at reading. I'm not good at writing. So hypothetical, what I write about, I don't know. I'm not inventive enough to write a fantasy book. And I'm very like OCD about like studying stuff. So maybe like something more like historical. I don't know. Yeah, prices of everything have gone up to an extreme extent. Your average manga volume of like 5 to 8 chapters. That's a lot, man. Yeah, I can't be doing that. I'll never get another house. I have this idea that I want to buy another house and then rent it out. Maybe like a duplex or more, like triplex or quadplex, and rent it out. And then use that money to try to buy another one. Just kind of get into the house buying game. I'm almost there. We've been saving for a while. Supergiant. Yep. Love them. Transistor. That's it. Love Transistor. I think I like that. I think Transistor is my least favorite of Bastion, Transistor, Hades, but it might be my favorite. I don't know about my favorite studio. Top 5 favorite studios for video games. I mean, Rockstar, love. I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy here. CD Projekt Red, love. Supergiant might be up there with the top 3. Did they make another one? Isn't it just the 3? I think it's just the 3. Pyre. Oh, shoot. I love Pyre. I played Pyre 3 or 4 times. I really can't wait until you read Bastion by Phil Tucker. It's the best. Yeah, I mean, I need to read that dang book. It's been on my TBR for so long. It's not even on my TBR. Where is it? Dang. It's not on my spreadsheet? I need to update my spreadsheet. Somebody message me on Discord or something and remind me to put Bastion on. That has to be read in 2024. Now the CG product did their last update of Cyberpunk. They're working on the next Witcher. What would you like to see from it? Just more Witcher? I mean, just, dude, Witcher is the best. Back up. Witcher is one of the best games from the past decade that I've ever played. And so just more of the same. I don't care. Just give me more missions. It's so good. It's so good. Good evening from Kentucky. Which time zone are you in Kentucky? Are you 2 hours from me or 3 hours from me? I'm in California. Are you at midnight or 1? Yeah, I did not like that. Hey, man, I just got it from work. What's up, Billy? You guys should check out Billy's YouTube channel. Billy's awesome. We'll check the stream out this evening. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Billy. Good luck on your studying, man. Nev, how's the collab video going? Plenty of responses. Yeah, so Nev is referring to a collaboration video I'm doing where I'm inviting every single booktuber in fantasy to send me a video that tells me what their favorite fantasy book from 2023 was. I am getting less responses than I thought I would because I ended up finding, let's see, I ended up finding 142 different fantasy booktubers. And I currently have videos from 61 of them. I have 3 maybes, and I'm waiting on videos for people that have told me yes on 11 people. I've got about 30 no's and then a good amount of people that just haven't responded to me after I have hounded them, like emails and Discord and Twitter. So I've been pretty comprehensive in it, but the video is going great. I mean, so I've already edited it together. I'm just waiting on some more people to kind of slide in there. Working on mixing the sound right now. So all the sound levels, like some people are really loud sound. Some are like, sound like a mouse. So trying to get all the sound working. It's already at like an hour and 20 minutes. And it should be awesome. And some of the clips are amazing. Some people put some really good effort into them. So I'm very excited about that. I want that video to come out next week. Maybe mid next week. Let's say a week from today. Speaking of interns, how's the bit about you hating reading going? Do they still believe you? Yeah, so William's talking about my interns in my office. Last year, my group of interns I had in, I told them that I ask them when they come in, do you read? They always say yes because they think they're supposed to for the job I'm in. I work in politics. So they're like, yeah, I read. And how about you? And I'm like, no, I hate reading. It's overrated. And so the staff in my office gets a kick out of it. They always laugh because they know about my YouTube channel. And but the interns don't know that I'm joking. And so last year they found out that I have a channel and they had like a revolt. And they're like, do you even have kids? Like what's true? And so the new interns are doing the same thing and they haven't found out yet. The thing is, there are a million sites where you can just read all the manga for free. It's probably the second easiest thing to access for free next to porn. That's really funny. Yeah, but then I have to read it on the computer. My eyes get tired. I want to read it on a reader. Larium Studios. What's Larium Studios? What you talking about? Hey, Matt, have you read 𝐶𝐞🐺? I have. It's one of the first books I reviewed on my YouTube channel. An embarrassingly bad quality. I did not like it. The prose is wonderful. But I just never got into the story. I think one of my problems was I did an audiobook and I just kind of got lost a little bit. But the story just didn't take off the way I wanted it to. 3 hours. I'm in Virginia and it's 12:59 here. Yeah. Makes sense. It's late. How highly do I value prose? Really bad prose can damage an experience more often. So I look at it like it's like a bonus. I don't read a book for prose, but if it has nice prose, it'll make me like it a little bit more. I will hate a book if it has wonderful prose and a bad plot, but I can still love a book with bad prose and a wonderful plot. Do you ever try to grasp meaning and archetypes and whatnot from the books you read, or just how much fun you experience? No, I don't. I don't grasp any of that. I just read. I try to turn off my brain and just enjoy what I'm going through. In general, I mean, things like Malazan, I do a little more of that. I'm just not that kind of guy. I mean, I'm not smart enough for it. I feel like. Larian Studios developed Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, Baldur's Gate 3. I would have enjoyed these games more when I was younger. I just don't have the time to spend that much. Like they advertise on these games, hundreds of hours. And that turns me off at this point in my life. Like I'm looking for a game now. What did I have in my hand? Man, I got like a bad splinter in my hand. I'll have to get that later. I'm looking for games now that are more linear. Open world games and games with choices, and it's just I can't, and I need to stay away from them because I would get addicted to them, and so I try really hard to not tempt myself with those kind of games. What if we sent you manga? Manga? Why did I get manga? Is that what it is? Manga? 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 I'd feel bad. I know it's like a lose-lose, right? But like I would feel bad because I probably wouldn't like it. And I don't want people spending money on me unless they're getting something in return. Like something like the Patreon, I'm more comfortable with because like they're buying a benefit and you don't have to do it. But if you want to, you can. But there's something, we're exchanging services. I get paid on the YouTube channel, but you're not, you're watching ads. or skipping them. You know, that's not a big ask. But just sending me stuff for free feels weird. I have had people do it. And I feel bad about it. There's this guy, I don't know that he wants me to name my name, but he keeps sending me stuff. Like he sent me this crazy nice, can't access it right now because the dog pen is behind me. But like this, the sort of 𝐒𝐲𝐽 like special edition with signature in it, and so nice. And I feel really bad about it. Are you friends with Patrick? I wish you two would meet. I'm cool with Patrick. I don't really talk to him. Like he's really nice, and he always responds to me when I ask him for things. Like I've asked for, you know, his recommendation on things, and I've asked him to be in some of my videos and send me clips, and he always does. So he's a terribly nice guy. But I don't talk to him outside of it. I'm not really friends with many booktubers. I'm friends with a small handful. The ones that hang out in my Discord, I'd say that I'm friends with. Because that's where I do my communicating with people. But outside of that, I'm not really like friends with anybody. Nearly at the end of the first Dungeon Crawl Carl audiobook through your recommendation and loving it so good. Awesome. You're going to love the whole series then. My review for book 4 is coming out tomorrow, and I didn't love it, but I still recommend the series to everybody. Thank you for the channel. Read Dungeon Crawl Carl and 𝐿 love them both. Reading Battle Mage now. Do you have plan to read the second book of 𝐿? I did. I have a review. Yeah, I've read all 3. I have reviews of all 3 of them on my channel. Rocky is a prime example of epic storytelling and beautiful prose. Agreed. Wow, it's 10:06. Okay, I'm not going to do this very much longer because I have video games to play. I'm playing this brand new video game. You might not have heard it before, but I'm playing LA Noire and Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. So yeah, brand new games. I gotta get into. Do you think Sanderson's secret projects did not live up to the hype? No, I think they lived up to the hype. I gave the books 5 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and 5 stars. That's not bad. 2 5-star books out of 4. Pretty dope. And I feel like I'm one of the lowest scoring people out of those. So I'd say they were an immense success. Not really what you asked, but I feel like they're hyped. I ordered City of Last Chances last week. I have not read Adrian T yet. I hope I liked it. Yeah, I think then are we talking about the same guy? Adrian T? Is that Tchaikovsky? If you are talking about him, then the next one, I'm going to read through all of the Shadows of the Apt. I want to go read the other one, like Children of Time. Is that it? Any foreign fantasy books you're interested in? I don't even know. What are foreign fantasy books? How do I read them if they're not in English? I mean, I feel like I'm going to read. I feel like I'm going to end up saying something racist, so I don't want to say anything. But the book by what is it? Sons of Darkness by 𝐒𝐿 Montney. Is that what? Do you consider that foreign? If not, I don't know. I think you misinterpreted that. Larian's games are designed around player choices, causing different outcomes. Playthrough shouldn't take hundreds of hours. I mean, how long should it take? A long time, I feel like. That was a while ago. Did you ever play Firewatch? I did. After I became a dad, I can't really handle loss very well. I get games with people that are going through death. I can't, not game, like any media that involves like a family member dying. I can't do it. It just makes me really sad. I just love my family so much, and like it's like my biggest fear in life is one of my wife or my kids, something happening to them. And so I played that game, and it's about that. and I had to stop playing it because it just made me sad, and I wasn't enjoying it. Patrick loves Sun Eater, so he's good people. Yeah, dude, Patrick is loving Sun Eater right now. I don't know if he ended up putting up a review of the third book yet, but he was glowing on it when I heard from him last. So yeah, good people. You plan on reading Dragonfall? What is Dragonfall? Dragonfall. I've never heard of Dragonfall. Is it the one by L.R. Lamb? I've never heard of it. Can you recommend me a fantasy series set in a forest setting with lots of wildlife? Ooh. I don't know. It's a great question, though. It's a really good question. Let me look through real quick. Lots of wildlife. I mean, like things like, you know, The Faithful and the Fallen's got several animals in it, but it's not a forest setting. That's a really good question. I don't know that I've ever read anything like that. I mean, the Band. What's the first book in The Band? By Nicholas Eames. Kings of the Wild. It's the whole book isn't like that, but there's a large section of the book where they have to go through this like impenetrable forest, and there's like creatures, and it's so good. So maybe Kings of the Wild, but it's not only that. Played Unreal Tournament 2004 this week. Bro, I played a lot of Unreal as a kid. Played a lot of Unreal. Any Christmas books or movies? No books. Movies, yes. So my daughter, thank God, I just got her into watching non-cartoon movies. Sorry, this cough won't go away. And so I got her to watch the first Harry Potter movie the other day, and she really liked it. Had different thoughts on it than I thought she would, but she liked it and really wants to keep going. I told her she can't watch the second movie until she finishes the first book with me. That was part of my little gimmick to get her hooked. So I got her hook, line, and sinker. Then this morning, we watched Home Alone. Those old movies are so short. We watched it this morning, and she loved Home Alone. And then I want to watch Elf with her. And what else? Is that it? That's it. How long it takes depends on how much of a completionist you are. If you do absolutely everything, it's probably around the longest doing The Witcher 3. I mean, in The Witcher 3, I don't know that I would play that for the first time. See, I'm hooked now is my problem. I don't want to get hooked to the other games. I am kind of completionist. I need to train myself not to be that way. Of course, he was glowing. Someone isn't glowing about Demon and White. You probably don't want to listen to them about books. I normally don't like have those strong opinions about people. Like everyone can feel the same way, but I kind of agree. That's a murder bot. First one is good. They're way too samey. I don't like the character development that Murderbot himself went through. And I hate the pricing structure of the books. Now, I didn't buy them. I just got them from the library, but I think it's kind of wrong how expensive they are. Hey, Mountain Gang. What's up, Angie? Everyone, Angie, awesome booktuber. Check her out. Daddy Green is also living Sun Eater. It's funny that all three of y'all have very different tastes, but Sun Eater is just that good. It rises above all differences. Agreed. We do have very different tastes. I'd say I agree with Patrick a lot more than I agree with Daniel Green. I don't agree with Daniel on a lot of things. But I'm glad that we all agree on it. Oh, you know who else likes it a lot is Mike from Mike's Book Reviews. And I also disagree with Michael on a lot of things. Dragon was right by LR. Okay. Yeah. Was you going to read Harry Potter for the first time? Yeah, I mean, would you like it as much for the first time if you read it now? It's very childlike. I mean, I'm reading it with my daughter slowly. It's okay. It's a kid's book. Love Home Alone. Home Alone, so good. I can't wait. Home Alone 2. I got to watch Home Alone 2. I forgot about that. Do you think another fantasy series will ever be a global phenomenon like Harry Potter? Yeah, I mean, everything happens in cycles, right? Like everything, eventually something will happen. I don't know when. Maybe a long time from now, but something. It's a Wonderful Life. I never actually watched that. He's an Oppenheimer. I have not watched Oppenheimer. And I didn't watch Barbie either. Do I need to watch Barbie first before Oppenheimer? Are they like a sequel? I feel like everybody's seen both of them. Will R.R. Verdi finish the King Color Chronicles before Patrick Rothfuss? He will. And it'll be really bad. Maybe it'll get good once he runs out of material to copy. Just completed Witcher 3 for the first time. Probably, bro. Can't agree with you more. Cannot agree with you more. I'm doing a Realm of the Elderlings reread, 1 book a month, and a Wars of Light and Shadow read along once every 2 months or so, because you're not reading much else till ROT is done. Yeah, I'm going to be doing War of Light and Shadow soon. I'm looking forward to it. If I read The Graveyard, no. I've read 2 Neil Gaiman books, and I didn't like them, so I'm kind of over the Gaiman thing. All right, I'm almost done, and then I'm going to be logging off. Harry Potter was lightning in a bottle. Everyone in the ground was reading these books. #1 selling fan. Yeah, true. The Blow Up series will be... Sanderson was talking about the monopoly of Amazon. What are your thoughts? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of thoughts. I'm kind of a contrarian on a lot of things. I didn't love Sanderson's comments about Audible. Is that what you're talking about? I thought there were a lot of fallacies to what he said about Audible. But I still love Sanderson. Well, I would like to talk about it with you as you read it, because I feel like I'm a crazy contrarian. Uh-oh. That's not good. I'm currently reading The Dragonbone Chair and Oathbringer for this time, but I do think Oathbringer is worse in terms of pace. Yeah, Oathbringer is my least favorite book of Stormlight. I still loved it, but the pace is my problem with it. Have you read Shogun? No, but I will. I will read it. That's cool about a character from not from there being in it. That's cool. All right, everybody. I've got video games to go play. And I had fun chatting with you all. But that's it. I'll try to plan these things out more. I don't know. My life isn't really one where I can plan things out. I just kind of do them when I do them. And I'll try to do it like in a different time of the day. Keep doing these at night. I feel like there's better times to do it. But I'd rather spend time with my family most of the time than do YouTube stuff. But I will find a time where I can do it. But so I'm done. Thank you all. And happy reading to you.